All right, awesome. All right, so this is take two. We had a little technical difficulty, but we're going to go ahead and do programming for a chart. This is Canadian Japanese yen. I had it I had it programmed earlier on, but it was one of the earlier versions of the algorithm. We've definitely made some huge updates since I've programmed the Canadian Japanese yen, so I'm going to redo it and going to show you the whole process that I use to get this job done. So the first thing that is when I'm picking a chart, I try to find a time frame where the price action is nice and even. So I'm going to give you an example here of where things get really dicey. So this is the 15-minute chart, and when we see the price back itself off, like it just constantly whips back and forth, even if it's not in consolidation, like in here, it's not in consolidation, but there's a lot of this action. Right? Whenever that happens, this is not consolidation, but look at how much it's up and down and up and down and up and down. Whenever that happens, it's very, very difficult for us to get a good handle on the market, and we end up getting chopped out a lot. So what I do is that I either increase the time, or sometimes I just find a different pair altogether. But I'm looking to capture, see, and still it happens a lot in this area. This is consolidation, but before the consolidation even starts, the technical is going to whip us out, and we're going to be getting some bad confirmations. Um, it's fairly steady, so I might be able to get something out of this, but it's actually not bad. Let's give it a shot. This is a 75-minute chart. I was actually programming it on the 195 before, but this would be a good exercise for me. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these lines. That was for marking a consolidation zone in the 195-minute chart. So yeah, let's give it a shot. So the first thing that I do is when I find a chart that I like, that I can see that I could probably get some action out of. There's a little bit of choppy here, but that's after a nice big pulse. And so that's to be expected. And I've got some ways that I can filter that kind of stuff out. Here's another consolidation zone, but I would be able to catch that probably in this area here, mark it off, and then just not trade again until after this pulse, which would then give me a win here. Even if I had a couple of losses, this here would probably give me it would probably pay for those losses. So I'm okay with that. Um, yeah, so I'm pretty happy with the price movement here. There's again, this kind of works itself back and forth a little bit in these areas, but I might be able to avoid those altogether with the consolidation filter. So the first thing that I do is that I plot some lines. Now the first line that I pick is always going to be a moving average, or a trend magic. Now in this case here, I do believe. Actually, I am going to go ahead and start off with Trend Magic. So with Trend Magic, I like to have it where the background gives me the colors, and that just helps me identify the trend a lot better. So I can see that there's a little bit of cutout here, but I'm okay with the fact that it's dipping down, giving me a bearish confirmation on the background because my volume is far expired. So I'm not going to enter the market on something like that. Here, though, that's a great entry. Incredible entry. I'd probably ride that down into this area here, which is really nice. Yeah. Based on this, I would be very happy with that entry. Take a look at the next one. When it switches over, we do have a confirmation here. Um, yep, I would stay in that and ride that upwards. Might even find a continuation in there. And then the next time it switches back, we have a double. Yeah, we do have a volume breakout here. But now what we do is we just test to see real quick. I have an EMA, or sorry, an ATR of 117. So I'm just going to quickly measure 117 times that by 2. And I am like I've got room. So even if I take this and the pullback happens, I'm not going to hit my stop loss, and I can ride this trade all the way to the bottom as well. So that's nice. That's a nice setup. Let's go check out some other opportunities. This one here, that lines up nicely. This one here, that one lines up. I would catch this small movement here. This one, yeah, unfortunately, this would be a loss if I didn't capture this. This is nice. So here is where I would stop out in this area here. And then the question is, would I be getting into this? 168 might be stopped out again, but this is also a consolidation zone. So by seeing this consolidation zone, hopefully by this time, I can go ahead and turn off the algorithm, or my consolidation filter is also present here, which is nice. Now it does show up in this area here, so I may have to change the settings just to help me get better readings on this. Let's just double this up. Okay, so yeah, and there's at least some yellow there. That's where I want to be yellow. And then I think I'm okay. I'm okay with that because I can take this one in. Okay, so it looks to me like this is better setup. A little bit of consolidation here, which I'm glad for, I think. I wanted to grab that opportunity. Might have to miss it. It all depends on what the numbers say when we're done. Let's go and increase this maybe. Okay, so that's not a bad entry actually, even here. This is the best one for sure, but it does read me in consolidation, and technically we are kind of in a ranging market. A little bit. Not really. There's only one high and a low, and then the next high beats out the previous high. So, well, you know what? We'll test that out with another moving average possibly. So that's a good start. I'm pretty happy with this. Wherever the price actually changes and switches over, it looks to me like we've got a pretty good consistency. Like this one. This one here's a fake out, but then we end up winning over here. Now the next thing that I do is that I'll add a couple moving averages, or maybe just one, depending on what we want. So now at this point, instead of using the background, I want to use the bars as my indicator, letting me know that I'm in the right direction. When I do that, though, I do take this off just to make sure that it doesn't, because if I have it on, then it goes white, right? I want to be able to keep that off and invisible so that my colored bars will let me know where I'm at. So this is a good entry here. I can see that. It's beautiful, actually. This here, this one has old volume, and so it won't actually take a trade in this area. That's okay. Here is an coming down, but I don't believe, yeah, no, so I do drop below, but I've also got a way to be able to say, oh, okay, I know I am not entering after so many bars from a previous high, and that is definitely more than 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so that's a ways away from the previous high. I would not be taking this trade. Then here is a going up. That's a fake. That's where the consolidation starts. So then, yeah, I would probably wait for this area here before looking for my next opportunity right here. And then I'd be taking that trade beautifully. Yep, I'd be taking that trade beautifully from 159. Yep, that's one there already. That's a win. Go ahead, take profit one. Here is a going upwards. Definitely don't want that. You know what I'm thinking? I'm going to actually take off the trend magic. Because if I look at this, I've actually got more consistency just simply with this moving average. I'm just going to increase the size of it so that I have a little bit more room and a little bit less choppy. Oh, and when I do that, I change it to a background so I can see. And then I don't mind having this up. Okay, cool. So now we go ahead and see if we can't minimize some of that noise that occurs in these areas by just increasing the size of this. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Yep, a little bit better. I'm gonna make the look back a little bit longer. Let's go 40. Okay, so now we're getting somewhere. Yep, this is nice. Yep, this is nice, and then that's a nice entry. I'm gonna go ahead and take off expiration so that I can see it fully. And then, yeah, there's a nice entry. I do notice though that we have, like it lags a little bit behind here, which isn't the worst, because that keeps me out of false reversals. This here looks to me like it would might stop out. See, 113. Nope, that actually would stay in. Yeah, that would actually stay in. We have a little bit of drawdown here where the liquidity would drop and the spread would increase, but um, that's not the worst because we can re-enter right here as well. If it stops out. If it doesn't, then we got that anyways. And then going up again right here, but that's not it. Here is actually the place we'd be going up. And it looks like to me that that would extend to a take profit one. Yep, it sure does. Okay, so then let's see what else do we have coming back. Another good entry going down. Beautiful. Here's a reversal. So this would close in this area for sure. And then we've got confirmation going up here. This would get stopped out, unfortunately, with this little market manipulation. Can't tell me that doesn't happen. And this would be another entry as well, unfortunately. So when that happens, when this kind of thing happens, and I do see it here, it does happen here, but I think that I would still be in the trade based on how my rules would work. I do believe I'd still be in the trade at this point, so I'd extend to here, probably close out in this area. This here would not take me out because I've got no strength or no volume, but this was definitely a problem. So this existing here may be necessary for me to have a second moving average with this 75. So I'm going to go ahead and add a 25. Again, these are adaptive. So you can see now that this moving average is going to be following nice and closely. And yeah, it does follow nice and closely. It does make some of my entries a little bit later, but that means that they're also safer. And I stay out of this dip here where I would normally be taking yet another loss. And then I come back in here. Yeah, I might turn off the filter out the long candles. I don't know. I'll find that out when I plug this into the algorithm. But there we have it. There's a nice one. This doesn't have a lineup until here. This lineup would definitely give me a loss. I'm okay with that. This one would also be a loss, but I'm okay because here's where I make it back, where everything lines up. 103. Ooh, yeah, definitely. It's definitely close, but I would stay inside there because this is not during low liquidity hours. So this would be a win where I would extend up to probably in this area here is where I would stop out. And then coming back down again, let's just double check. A lineup occurs right here. This is nice. 99. Yep. And I would stay in even during this section here. This drawdown would be more than tolerable, and I'd be riding this bad boy. Yeah, I would stop probably in this area here. Okay. So then here's where it actually goes up, even though the price is going down. And the reason for that is because my moving average crossed that slow moving average. My fast one crossed. But there isn't a lineup, I don't think. Oh, there's a lineup right there. Yeah, you know what? That's okay. I'm okay with that because this here would have given me probably 12%. So that's not the worst. Okay, so now that I got some pretty good success on this. There are a few losses for sure. I know that they're going to be more than what I'm seeing because that's how the algorithm is so accurate to its entries. It looks to me like there might be some bad ones in here where this is actually a downward trend, but because of the way the moving average just never actually dips below the slow moving average until here, we might be seeing some nasty stuff in here, but consolidation might keep us safe. Here's another good entry. Lines up beautifully. So here we have a bunch of lineups. This is not really consolidation, but that slow moving average just didn't quite follow along very well. So then in this case, yeah, so we've got where the where the confirmations line up, it dips down, but it never actually extends, and it ends up taking us out with a reversal. But again, that's what the bank's jobs are for. That's what they show up to work for. They got to feed their families too, so we'll let them do it. Then we've got here, nothing lines up until here. Oh, okay, so this is really choppy. This has got about 4 or 5 losses in this upward trend. So I'm not a fan. Now that I'm looking at this, yeah, sure, we saw some great wins, um, but I'm not a fan of this. And this is kind of that same thing I was telling you about when I first got started, was that there's a lot of choppiness in here, right?
Yeah.
And that choppiness has got even the moving average confused. So I don't want to get in that. And look at this. Like, this is all upward trend. All of this is upward trend, but the majority of the background is showing gray. That's an indicator that you need to change up your moving averages. And then this brings in the lesson of patience. Look at this. Upward trend. It's all showing gray. So this brings up the lesson of patience. I got a nice one here though. Nice. Um, just because I got this not right, that doesn't mean that this whole thing is wrong. Let's increase this and see what happens. Look at that, eh? Okay, so I'm going to bring this down to 25, the look back. I want to get this slow moving average to actually be a little bit less slow, but still over the same good period of time. So I'm envisioning this actually, like, it's because it's so adaptive. That's why I want this to stay below this area here if I can, but I don't think I can. Let's increase the smoothing quite a bit and see if I can't get it to, nope. Let's try this. No. So yeah, I would get too many losses in this area. So I'm thinking to myself now, this slow moving average is not going to be good enough. So let's turn it into a trend magic and play with some settings in here. Now we've actually got a nice strong, look at this, bullish trend here that actually does some good. There'd be a stop out here if I took this. A stop out there. This is consolidation though, so I might just notice this, this would be a loss. If I took a trade here, this would be a loss. And then I'd have another loss here. So then I'd be like, yep, marking this off as a consolidation, and we would re-enter probably in this area here. Yep, there it is. And we'd make back the 2 losses for sure. So I like this. I like this. And that trend magic is good for that. There's that same kind of thing as we saw that other time where it dips down below, but my second moving average helps me stay out of a potential loss there because it's making sure that I'm staying nice and safe. I do see that that fast moving average is fairly quick. So I'm going to go ahead and just increase its size a little bit just to make it a little bit smoother so it's not so jittery. Good stuff. And I can see, this would be a loss, unfortunately, but I'd be making that back again right there. This one here. So here I might actually reduce the expiry on my WAE just so that I don't end up in a loss here. And I don't mind coming back in again because that's a fresh WAE at the beginning of that. So that'd be great. And here, that one's not going to be too much of a concern because my WAE is gone. This here would not extend to a take profit, and I think it might actually stop out. But we're also, look at that, we're also in consolidation here. So then that means I would not be actually winning this one. I'd be waiting until here to enter, so I'd lose this and then make it back. Yeah, and then some. Trick is if you're going to make it back, you might as well make the loss back and then some profit. Another consolidation zone here. Unfortunately, it looks like I'd be missing out on this one. No, I wouldn't. Because the consolidation gets broken here. So then I'd turn it back on and I would not have a lineup. See? So I'd be turning it on. This is where we break out of the consolidation zone. This is actually kind of neat. So let's get let's draw a box. So there's my consolidation zone. And what is up with TradingView messing up the mouse nowadays? So here's the top, the bottom. We have another high, low. These highs and lows do not beat out the range of this, but it breaks out here. Now I'm going to turn it on, but we don't have a lineup of anything anywhere. Like even this, it's not a lineup because I don't have a background on the chart. So I don't have a bearish or bullish confirmation there. Coming down, coming now up above, I don't have it lined up either. I get a lineup right here. There's my lineup. $104. That would work out because it's in the middle of the night. And then I would ride that trade down probably into this area here, maybe even into here. So there we go. I'm happy with these settings now. Found myself a better, slower moving average. Good old trend magic. And look at that. There's actually very few instances where it lines up in this area as well. Here's where it lines up right here. So I'd have one loss. And then another one here. This is where I would mark off my consolidation, but then I'd be leaving consolidation right away, turning my algo back on again and make that money back. Both those losses would be recouped and then some on that movement. So that's good. Let's see what's happening in this area here. There's my entry. And that's a great one there. Here is a dip down below, but it does not line up with strength, and so I'd be re-entering the market on this bar here, which then extends out to a win. Okay, let's see what happens in this area. Nothing lines up. This is not a line up here, and that's okay because it looks like it would draw down and take me out. Then I have a line up right here, and that's a beautiful entry. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. Here we have a dip down. Nothing lines up. Let's see what happens over in this switch. Yep, I got a lineup. This would extend to a take profit 1 for sure. Okay, awesome. Let us take these parameters now that I have, that visually I can see a rough draft of what my trade algorithm looks like. Now I can take these inputs and put them into here. Now I've got a 195-minute chart set up here, so I'm going to go ahead and switch it over to a 75 so that I match. And then wait for trading view. There we go. There it comes. And already we're got a profitable algorithm. Look at this nice trade. I wouldn't actually pick that up until here, but that's pretty nice. Okay, let's go ahead, open this up. Trend magic with a Zlemma, but I'm pretty sure my Zlemma was, yeah, my Zlemma here was 35 instead. Let's see if that helps. Yep, so that increases our success rate there. I'm gonna go ahead and change up. We had the 15, and then for smoothing, we had 80. So the account balance is at 140 with a success of 43. Yep, so now we actually have better. The drawdown's still a little bit high, but that drawdown's a little bit high. But that's okay. We'll increase some of this here. So I'm losing streaks, I noticed too. So see if we can find out where those losses are and minimize those. I think I'm gonna just take off the expiration though. 147, 154. So we're not gonna use the expiry. I'm just gonna see what happens here. Yeah. So to me, this is consolidation as well. Be leaving consolidation here, it looks like. Waiting for the next lineup, which occurs right here. And therein lies my question. Why did this not take a trade right here? Not that it makes a difference because we do have a confirmation here. But again, though, that's a lot of consolidation. Thankfully, no trades get taken because nothing lines up. But that is supposed to line up right there. And oh, I see why. It's because it's after session. So there we go. We stay out of that until we get to here. Yeah. Okay. So now let's go find some losses. People are like, what? You're going to look for losses? Yes, because I want to find the commonality in all of my losses. So this one here, I don't actually, I'm not too concerned about it because this is just market manipulation, but it does not go into consolidation. So this is just the price extending back down again to take out people's stop losses before it does what it's what the banks on the longer term want in the direction they want to go long term. Here, this is always interesting when this happens. Do bear in mind, because it's a limitation of TradingView, that they don't provide per tick data. So they give you a bar, and that's your bar. And it says here that we are closing out down here, but that's simply not true. It would probably close out. Well, you would actually extend. Your trade would actually continue on. you're not going to close this trade. TradingView says you're closing the trade, but you're not. It just extends, because the bar extends up to here, it thinks your trailing stop has closed, and it hasn't. And to reflect that, you might go ahead and change the setting for that, which right here is my enable take profit 0. So I'm going to take that off and see if that improves my success rate or my balance. No, it actually decreases it. So even though this happens, you can be rest assured that you can still stay inside this trade and even reach your take profit 1 at this point. It's just a TradingView thing where you can't properly see how this trade would execute. That loss there, yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Go look for some more. That's a nice big win. Here's a loss. Let's just see what happened here. Looks to me like this is inside a long consolidation. Yeah. So the question I have is, why is this giving us a sell? Because if you take a look on this chart, it does not occur. The baseline 1 is not showing bearish. So I could have my settings off just a little bit, and to test this out, what I do is that I just move this over and I bring up the modes so I can grab the outline or the output of baseline 1. And now the algorithm is going to show me exactly what is this going on. So this is saying this is bearish for longer time than what it's saying is bearish up here. So I have some settings that are off. So I'm going to go down to that part. And we're just going to see here. Trend Magic is on close. Well, this doesn't matter. This doesn't make a difference. But I'm going to match it anyways. Zlemma is close on 35. We're on adaptive. 15 and 80. Trend Magic is set to, there we go. So the Trend Magic length is 21 and the ATR multiplier is 2.5. Well, that didn't work. 2.5. Now we should see this bearish area actually match, and we might even see better. No, that actually goes down. So whatever it was before, 11 and 2. Oh, it was better than that. I was at 164. What did I change before this? Is it the take profit? No. Ah, goodness. It was. Let's see if it was 21. No, so it was definitely not that. It was 14. Well, I might have to get that back somehow else, because I don't know what the setting was that gave me this. I'm going to try some other smoothing options here, other smoothing settings. 154, 89. Nope, that's not as good. So 80, let's just try 60. Sometimes it's like, it is better if you go further, but we'll see. That is better. Yep, so 60 is better. Isn't that interesting? It's like 80 is good, 70 is not as good, but 60 is actually better. So then we test it out. Let's go 65 and see if we can find the sweet spot. 167.86. Nope. So 60 is better. What about 55? No. So 60 is best. Okay, so then let's just try some expiration settings. See if there may be some trades on the ends of these trends that we don't want. Aha. Imagine that. So let's just test out some numbers here. Let's go 25 and see if that improves or okay, so that's not as good. So let's go down to 21. Calculated. Yeah. 179, 209. Let's see if 17, does that improve it even more? My success rate is getting closer to 50, which is great. No. So this is a better, yeah, better profit factor going down this way. Let's see if I can't. Nope. So we're better off in this area here. Okay, so I'm just going to filter the large candles just to say don't enter in on big banker candles and see if that improves. No, it's actually, oh, it is actually better. Not by much. But my success rate goes down. But my profit factor goes up. So, you got to kind of play that by ear. We're going to run with it. Let's just double check some other trend magic multipliers here and see if we can't get better results. 217 with a 46%. Nope, so that's definitely not as good. Let's go 1.75, see if we can squeeze it that way. Nope, so that too is a nice magic number. 217.52. Okay, now let's go up and see if we can't. Let's see if we can't get some more out of the trade up here. So right now I've got set for 2.5 at a break even. Let's try 2.75. See if maybe we can. Oh my goodness, 2.75. See if we can't squeeze something out of this. 274. That is better. So let's try 3. So 2.75 is better across those trades. And another thing too that I'm noticing is we do have a high number of trades. With that number, this many bars within those 2 years, I may decrease the time just to see if whether or not we may be just having too much of too many different seasons of trades of market. Aha. So you see, look at that. The first year that this strategy was applied actually gave us worse results. We increased our balance, taking half as many trades, almost half as many trades. I'm just going to decrease this a little bit more time, see if we can't get around that 120 to 130. There's 130 trades. Okay, but look at that. Our count, this went down. So now we have, now this is really important. So now we have a situation. So again, this tells us good things. So when it goes up and down and up and down as we reduce the amount of time, that tells us that we do have seasons where we're losing and then seasons where we're winning. Right now, over 1 year, we're 200% up. with a win rate of 44.76. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check out some more trades, see if I can't find some more ways to avoid the losses. Here's a trade here that we definitely would not want to take. That might be my consolidation filter that can keep us out of that. Let's try it. Let's see what happens if I bring in the consolidation filter. Now we have to make sure the settings are good. The consolidation filter does a good job sometimes, and then other times it's like, oh, I have to really get my settings right. So I'm gonna take my look back on there is 40, and breakout length is 6, and my multiple is 3. So now I can turn it on. Where is it? There it is. Consolidation, and we'll see if this helps. It does help a little bit. We actually have a win rate over 50% now, and that's actually really nice. Expected value is now above 1%, profit factor 1.8. I'm liking this. This is encouraging. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and increase this time again back to 2019 and see if I can, if that is consistent. Yes, it is. That is more consistent over longer periods of time. Now, my win rate went down a little bit, but I know that I'd be better off than this simply because I would be manually watching out for more consolidation. Okay, so we can see that as you know, that the middle of 2019 was not a good time, and I know that to be true. 2019 was actually a very, very rocky year for trading. So that's pretty good. I've got 316% over a period of a year and a half or so. Basically 2 years. And yeah, 22 months. Okay, so now let's go look at some more losses. See if there's some other stuff that I can get out of this. So here's a dip down. Oh yeah, there's our dip down. Might be some refinement that I could do to the consolidation filter. So let's just go ahead and edit this consolidation filter and see if I can't get this to flash yellow so that I'm not taking that. Okay, so there it is. I now have it. And I would actually get rid of both these losses if this works. Breakout length is 6, 40, and 14. Let's just double check. Consolidation, 6 and 14. So we got 3. What was it? What did I say? 3.25. Why does it do that? My mouse is just a little bit finicky. All right, see what happens. 316 and 48%. Look at that. 359 and 51% success rate, 23% drawdown. That is not shabby. I am at the peak right now with this strategy. I'm liking it. I'm liking it. Profit factor is almost 2.0. See if we can't switch up some of the trade strategy. And, you know, we might even make more if we change up. What happens if we add some highs and lows? Do we follow market structure or not? No, do not follow market structure because your win rate goes down. You know, this is the funny thing about educators. They talk about how it's important you follow market structure. While I can show them otherwise, publicly argue with them that by following market structure, you lose money. Now, sometimes it works, but they talk about it like it's a rule. And it simply isn't. I just proved it. I'm going to try QQE exits, see if we can squeeze some out of there, where the QQE indicator would let us know to exit a trade sooner. So that does not improve our success rate. Sometimes it improves our win rate. Let's try that. Sure does. Wow. Nice. So we're using QQE. That does not happen very often. We're using QQE as an entry confirmation. I'm going to go ahead and just edit the trend magic exits a bit, see if we can squeeze more out of that. If we follow the priced action more closely, do we make more? 389, 355. So no, 2, and let's try 2.25. See if that's better. Give the market a little bit more room to breathe, possibly. 378. What was 2? 389. So that's still better. Okay, so we're gonna leave it that. Look at that drawdown. Beautiful drawdown. 11% on this. This is a very, very good strategy that's shaping up here. Okay, let's go up and change up the trade strategy a bit. So right now I got this at 4.75. That's pretty expansive. See if I bring the break even to 3. Does that improve or? No. So it should be staying at 2.75, maybe even 2.5. Let's try that. Nope. So yeah, 2.75 for that one. The take profit 1 right now is at 475. That seems pretty far. Let's try 4.5, see if that improves. Nope, that goes down. So let's try 5. Maybe take profit 1 needs to be 5 times my ATR. Sure does. Look at that. Let's try 5.25. Squeeze more out of this market. Can we break the 400% mark? Nope. So 5 is best. Okay, so now I'm going to add a take profit 2. Why would I do this? Sometimes we will see the market extend, and as it extends, then it pulls back, and the pullback at certain points may be too much. And it won't hit the trend magic, but if we could catch it at the very outer edges of those long ones, maybe it's 10. See what happens. $458. Let's go up. I'm just going to keep on going up until this thing stops going up. 458 with 53% success. 455. Let's go down to 9. Nope. So 10. I'm just going to just for fun, I'm going to try 12. 458 was the highest. 452. Okay, so no, we're losing on that. So 458.98 across 2 years on the 75-minute chart with 130 trades taken. This is nice. I'm a fan. Some losses, I would probably mitigate those losses, noticing where the consolidation is manually. But overall, this is a very, very good. Ooh, look at this. See this where it closed out early? That's because we hit that take profit 2 um, to see whether or not we can get more out of that trade. It's at 458 right now. I'm going to just see what happens if I bring this up to 15. because this would bring us down to here probably. Yep, 438 though. Okay, well, what happens if we bring it to 18? Probably down in this area. $406. So we're losing on this one. Saying that 22. That'll bring us down to this, I think. Yeah, so trying to get the most out of this, we actually lose over time. So 10 is best. Boom, 458. See if we can't find some continuations now. At this point, though, I'm going to go ahead and save. So one thing that I do real quick before I save everything, obviously I'm going to save this one. So we'll go ahead and save it so that it's saved. I name it the asset that I'm trading, and this is a 75-minute, and I go T for Titan. Remember the symbol, remember the interval, and I'm going to put that into our good old algorithm on the copier. So we have that one running for all of our trades. Next is what I do is that I just quickly make sure that I make all of the settings, line them up with this. So I'm going to go down, my baseline's 1, make sure I'm still 35 on Trend Magic. Oh no, that doesn't matter so much. Trend Magic with a custom line, 11 and 2. No, because we switched it. So that makes this have to be 11 and 2. And then we're good. That way we know this is matching this. The next thing that we want to double check is the... Don't think we moved anything on WAE. Ooh, hey, speaking of which, we might play around with some of the expiry stuff on this. See if we can squeeze more out of this market. So WAE, this is where the fun is, because it's like one little tick could make this go crazy. Nope. So it's better to have it at 7. Let's try 8. Nope. So 7 is best. And let's just try lingering and see if that helps. Sometimes lingering can help. Nope. So that's best without lingering. Okay, so I don't think we changed anything there. No, WAE stayed the same. Highs and lows are not on. Absolute strength, pretty sure that's the same. Yep, ADX WMA. And then consolidation. Let's make sure that that matches. So 3, 2, 5, 6, 40, and 14. Okay, cool. So now I know we got QQE exits on. Or no, entries are on. What if we put in the exits? Can I test this? 458. Nope, we definitely don't want that. And the win rate drops significantly. Okay, so that's that. Now I've got this. Okay. Now what I do is that I go ahead to the top one where all my settings are matched to my algorithm, and I save this as well because I need to maybe able to may need to make adjustments to it later. So instead of calling it 75T, I'm going to call it 75A because this is the algorithm. And then I remember everything. Voila. Now I have both. Now when it comes time to, if I'm noticing that we're not getting the same win rate, then I can go back and start making some adjustments in here and comparing them to the algo, find something that works better. But this is a really good setup. Profit factor is 2.17. So every dollar you're putting in, you're going to make $2.17 back. Expected value per trade is above 1%. I like that. Risk to reward is nice and healthy. We've even got some streaks. You can play around with that if you want. This does not automatically change your risk depending on your win rate, but you can play around with it and be like, hey, what happens if I do enable some risk? Does this just basically adjusting the risk for every trade? No, so that's not as good, and it's because um, we have an effective losing streak there. So I'm gonna make it. What happens if I go effective instead? Does that make it better? 458. No. So we don't want to play around with the risk. Oh yeah, and this is also accounting that every 30 days I'm taking 20% of the account or 20% of the profits out. So if I say I'm not taking anything out, because you might want to just leave it in there, that changes it to 631%. Okay, let's see if we can't find some continuations. So a continuation would be where, we've got a bullish signal, right? That bearish confirmation got us some money here. Why did this? Oh yeah, it didn't actually line up until over here. So the bearish confirmation, and then afterwards we can start looking for another bearish confirmation. And so what I do sometimes is that I will say I want another moving average to be that confirmation for a continuation. So one of the ones that I like to use is trauma. And we need to turn it visible. So now my trauma line is up, and I may be able to say, okay, so if my trauma line gets crossed, so this we're automatically, because we had a buy here, we went bullish, then we're only in continuation, we're only going to look for bullish. And so when you would look for the next lineup across that crosses my trauma line instead of my other baseline that I have. So here, this would probably be a win right there. That'd be another extra trade that I could capture from here onwards because I have continuation trade, looking for a continuation. So trauma 35, let's just make it adaptive. Yep, that's not bad. Then we get even closer and we can catch some of the other continuations that exist as a result. No, that we're not going to catch anything in here, but we're in that trade, so that's okay actually. So here is where we don't want a continuation, and there would be a line up right there, and that would be a loss if we were to continue here. But I would like to catch this one because we don't end up dropping down because nothing lines up, but there is a line up right here. So if this were to be a shorter line, possibly, let's try 21. And then the other thing that I could do is, so there it is. Nope, but that's at the same time as that one, so no. But I do like how the trauma line is now actually closer to the trend line, which makes it, that makes it easier for that continuation to catch. We do catch this anyways, so that might not be the best there. Why does it not capture in here? Oh, because it just doesn't line up till, no, it lines up right here. Why doesn't the algorithm grab it right there? Okay, so here we have an instance where it's missing an opportunity. So we're going to go ahead and mark it with our vertical line so it shows up on both, so we can see exactly where it needs to be. And we're going to go ahead and, using deductive logic, find out what's going on. So baseline, we should be in the bearish, which we are, and it lines up. I think it lines up good. Yeah, it lines up right. Let's go check out the WAE. because it's a fresh new WAE confirmation. Yep, we're good there. Let's go see what the high lows are doing here. Oh, no, not the high lows. Strength, make sure that that's lined up. Oh, you know what? I bet you it's a WA or a QQE. And we want the QQE because it made such a huge improvement. So yeah, let's go see. Oh, there's no output for QQE on here. This will be just outputting the exits, I believe. Nope, so that's what it is. So the very next bar is actually where the entry should be. So then in that case, let's go find out why it didn't take a trade now. That's what I have. Consolidation, maybe? Doesn't say it's in consolidation here. No, we're good. We can take a long or a short. Strength. Pretty sure we're good, yeah. WAE, I don't think the expiry is... Yeah, no, we should be taking a trade at that point. Oh, nope, I see what it is. Session times. Okay, so then we test that. What happens if we trade when we are in lower liquidity? Does it work? We're at 631 with 53%. Nope, it does not. So it's not a good thing for us to take that opportunity. We should be waiting for this one here. So then that continuation wouldn't be the best. So let's go ahead, bring it back to trades taken, and see if we can't find something else that would be a good continuation. This is good. I think this is a... Oh no, that doesn't take a trade. Why? We have a lineup. Oh, it's probably a QQE again. But there's another entry right there. We should be taking this. What's going on? Let's go see outline or baseline. This is the entry right here. Oh, it's expired. What? So this got expired. No, it didn't. Here it's supposed to be above. Baseline, see where the baseline's supposed to be there? It's supposed to be above. Oh, wait, maybe not. Might not. I think what might be happening is that I'm getting a background color on... Yes, I am. No, so it does go up here. It does not go up here. So we have a setting that's off between the trend magic. There's a setting that's off because it doesn't match. We should be seeing a blue here. And then a re-entry here, which is another trade opportunity. Okay, so is lemma 35, same as chart closing 15 and 80. What's going on here? 11 and 2. What's going on here? Baseline.
Still at it.
Good stuff. All right. So trend magic is, I don't think this makes a difference, but let's see. 95. That shouldn't make a difference here. Because it doesn't work that way. Custom line, lemma 35, 15, 60. What happens if it's at 60? actually stays dipped below. Yep, that's exactly what happened. So it expired, but we actually wouldn't mind having my goodness. I don't know. Let's see what happens. So 60 is what it's at. So we save it at 60. Let's give it another save here because then it matches. GP 75 algo. Okay, let's go see if we switch it back to 80, whether or not we get that trade, and possibly, we've made some other adjustments elsewhere. This might improve. Let's see what happens. How'd this dip down below 600? This was at 60. This was above 600 before. What happened? What did I miss? Okay, so when that happens, we got to go back and grab CAD GIPI 75T. Come on, TradingView. There we go. Yeah, and so it's down below because I didn't save it after I took off the commission thing. There you go. Doesn't change anything else, but okay, so let's just, where were we working here? Oh yeah, right there. But we determined that that was during session. What was the other one? Was it in here? Yeah, there it was in there. So this expired. So now this means that we should be looking for a continuation. Now the question is, of course, what constitutes a continuation? Well, I can't use baseline 1 because baseline 1 is expired. But what I can do is I'll add a baseline 3, not as an entry, but as a continuation. And I'm going to take this one off, and let's bring to baseline 3. So the definer is baseline 3. And I want there to be strength, I believe, in the, yeah, I would like there to be strength. I want everything else to line up for this to work. And session times, and let's test this out. Enable continuations. Do we make more money? Nope. We end up losing a lot. So we take a lot of trades that end up being bad. So let's try adding the other things required that we have set up over there. Oh, I have to set baselines 3. That's the problem. Although that's not bad. We have to set baselines 3 to actually match. So baselines 3 is right here. And I have trauma as my continuation line. Trauma 21. And it's on adaptive. Now, what do we have? It's 38. But we do lose, so we take a lot more trades, but we start losing. And even my profit factor drops. So I'm going to leave it off for now. I'm not going to take continuations. That's something that maybe I'll take more time to refine later. It would be great to capture this. This might be something that I have to watch for manually as well. because that's pretty nice. The only other thing that I can think to try in order to catch that, because it does follow pretty much the same rules, and that would be to try taking off expiry again off of the entry. I don't think this will help. I think we'll get too many losses. Yeah, so we start we start missing out on opportunities, or we start losing opportunities. Okay, so that's it, guys. I'm not going to go too much more into this. That is the entire process. And the more that I do this, the more that you watch these videos, the more that you're going to catch on with the process. And you're going to also find ways to work on it yourself. You're gonna see ways that you can make it better than what I'm doing. You might find ways to avoid this here. Like, this is a bad trade. And then this, for whatever reason, this didn't work out. And then by the time it came into here, looks to me like this would be expired. Oof. And I would love to catch that. Let's see if we can't get it. Let's increase the expiry just a couple bars here. What happens if I go 20? 631. 542. And it doesn't even take this trade still. What's going on? Oh, because we start. No. We should be grabbing something here. We have a lineup. Okay, so let's bring it back down to where we were. 17, was it? 18? 18's better. I had it at 17. 631, I put it up to 18. It's better. Ooh, what happens to 19? No. So 18's better. There we go. Let's save it again. Yeah, this is so much fun. Okay, so save it because we got better numbers. And then we're going to just see what we are missing out on this one. Like, why doesn't this grab? Because I see it should have. So we put our vertical line and we look to see why that's not grabbing. We go into trades, give us an output here, baseline one. Oof, I keep bumping it. Okay, so yeah, it's just the expiry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars plus. But again, I would rather not do this, right? So baseline one, 1823 would be the amount necessary to capture this trade, I believe. $654. And we still aren't grabbing that trade. But look at how much that drops. And we lose that as well. So it's just not worth it for me to try to chase this one trade. But I am curious as to why it's not taking, because I should be seeing. Oh, I need to go one more bar. That's why. $8, 556, but that's just not as good as the 18 expiry. So there you have it. There you have it, my friends. That is a better, even though we're missing out on this opportunity, if we follow the rules to get this one, we're losing somewhere else. And I have the data to prove it. Great. Profit factor 2.2. Expected value is 1.53% per trade. Win or lose, your likelihood of making 1.53% per trade is very good. Thank you so much. And thank you to Wolfie for recording this while I'm streaming it. And we can put this up on YouTube for your enjoyment.
That was awesome.
Everybody, thanks. Yeah, thanks a lot. And boy, did we get a good one. Like, that took me, just over 2 hours. And wow, that algo is way better than what I have going on for the CAD Jippy right now. Way better.
that looks awesome. that dashboard.
I'm really glad that we did that. And I kind of knew. I was like, I know that I can get that CAD yen to be better. Because look at what CAD yen is right now. And it's on the 195.
I'm gonna go to lunch with my friend.
Okay.
It's like
You want anything?
180% or 220 or something.
No thanks.
No Mexican food?
No thanks.
Sit up straight.
Okay.
Love you, Chase.
Love you, Dad.
Okay, nothing.
Figure out something
Yeah,
else
thank
to.
you.
I'll be back in a couple hours.
Okay.
Love you, Chase. God bless you.
Be safe. Whoa, that took a while.
It takes a long time. I don't know why. Well, I do. It's because I've got 5 algorithms running on it. I might have to split them up into smaller, like just 4 panels per layout or something. I don't know.
Oh, why are they all like that?
What's that?
They're all at 100.
Yeah, because these are the ones that are running. When you're running them to actually send trades, you have to put them on forward test, and so then they just stay at that. You have to. What I do is that I go ahead and open up
Oh,
another
okay.
app where I have the actuals. And these ones are the ones that are showing the back test data. Yeah, so 277. My success rate's not even as good. Expected value is not as good. Profit factor is not as good. So yeah, here we go. Templates. Add yen 75. Across the same period of time.
Did you want me to
And
stop recording?
yeah, sure. Yeah, that's the end.